What if the most famous photograph in American history tells a lie? We all know the image. 6 brave men, raising the stars and stripes on Iwo Jima. It's a symbol of victory, of courage, of a nation united in righteous war. But what if the story behind that flag raising, the one we've been told for decades, isn't the whole story? What if the truth is more complex, more heartbreaking, and far more human than the legend? For years, the identities of the men in that photo were considered fact, heroes, immortalized in bronze and film. But history holds its secrets tightly. What if a single, overlooked detail in the corner of a forgotten negative revealed a case of mistaken identity? A mistake that would go unnoticed for over 70 years. This wasn't just a simple error. It was a secret, kept alive and honored, and a family left wondering. Who was the real sixth man? And why was his story erased from the narrative of America's greatest triumph? The official records were wrong. The history books were wrong. The monument itself was wrong. This isn't just about correcting a name on a list. It's about a young man from a small town who fought and bled on that volcanic island, whose face was captured in that iconic moment, but whose name was lost to the winds of war and bureaucracy. He returned home not to parades, but to a quiet life, never knowing he was a ghost in his own story. His family never knew the honor he was due. How does a mistake of this magnitude happen? Was it the fog of war? A simple clerical error? Or was there something more at play? To find the answer, we have to go back to that brutal, ash-covered island. We have to look closer at the films, the forgotten interviews, the dusty archives. We need to follow a trail of clues left behind by amateur historians and dedicated researchers who refuse to let the official story be the final word. The journey to uncover this truth is a detective story wrapped in a war epic. It involves forensic analysis of photographs, tracking down aging veterans for their fading memories, and challenging the institutions that built a legend on a flawed foundation. We'll meet the man who was mistakenly celebrated as a hero and explore the weight of a legacy he never asked for. We'll also discover the quiet, forgotten life of the man who was actually there, a man whose sacrifice was almost lost forever. This story forces us to ask a difficult question. How much of our history is a carefully constructed narrative, and how much is the unvarnished truth? The Iwo Jima flag raising is more than just a picture. It's a cornerstone of American identity, and realizing that it is built on a mistake forces us to re-examine everything we thought we knew about heroism, memory, and the stories we tell ourselves as a nation. The men who fought on Iwo Jima faced hell on earth. Over 26,000 American casualties, including nearly 7,000 killed. It was one of the bloodiest battles in Marine Corps history. Each man there was a hero, whether they were in a photograph or not. But accuracy matters. Truth matters. Honoring the correct individuals isn't about diminishing the others. It's about setting the record straight. It's about giving a name back to a hero who was rendered invisible. So, let's peel back the layers of this iconic moment. We'll start with the battle itself, understanding the chaos and desperation that defined the fight for Mount Suri. Then we'll examine the photograph, second by second, frame by frame, just as investigators did. We'll see the subtle details, the shape of a helmet, the type of weapon, the pattern on a pair of pants that cracked the case wide open after 7 decades. We'll hear from the families, both the one that lived with a public legacy and the one that lived in private obscurity, and see how this historical correction changed their lives forever. The story of the sixth flag raiser is a powerful reminder that history is not a static object in a museum. It's a living, breathing thing that can be re-examined and re-understood. It shows us that even our most cherished symbols can hold hidden truths, waiting for someone to ask the right questions. The answers aren't just about who was in a picture, they're about who we choose to remember and why. Join me as we uncover the true story behind the flag and the man that time forgot. Thanks for watching, and if you find these hidden histories as fascinating as I do, make sure to subscribe for more.